So I'm just going to share something, a little something in my experience. I can't really speak for other people, but it's about God's promises and the things that He shows us, the things that He reveals to us. Whether this be through dream, or whether it be through a season of hearing His voice very clearly, or whether it be through vision, or whether it be confirmed through other people when we're speaking to them. This is my favorite way of hearing God speak to me, because it's like sometimes it's like that shock factor thing, and I just have to remain like, because somebody's there speaking to me. Obviously, it's my favorite way. I love it. God knows I'm pretty theatrical in that sense, so I think He brings those to me often, and I'm very grateful for that. But one thing I want to speak about is, the fact that God is always true to His promises. He is always true and faithful to us in terms of His promises, especially where He reveals them to us. And the revealing of His promises through dream or vision, sometimes it's not always understood as to why. And maybe it's not up for us to understand yet. But I think the thing that we can fall back on, which is quite encouraging, is that God is always true to His promise. And He will bring us the things that He says He will. There's one thing that I've come to know during this time is that when He reveals something to us, whether that be in a dream or vision, it's not like an instant, the next day, this is what's going to happen. Not always. I'm sure for some that they may have had experiences like this. But when they're a pretty big thing, there's always a preparedness, a season of preparedness that I feel that God then places us into. And it's got a lot to do with the shaping of our character, I can tell you that much. And during that time, we can ask for His grace, for His voice to be louder, but during this time also I've experienced like a crushing increase in terms of, Satan speaking and severe witchcraft and demonic dreams and things like this. But I've come to know, and by immersing myself in the Bible, reading God's word daily, finding that His voice is not condemning. His voice is not fear-mongering. His voice is not making us strive for things necessarily. His voice is graceful. He wants good things for us. He wants us to prosper and to be in good health and to be around good people. He wants great opportunities. He doesn't want us to be, unable to provide for our families, for example. And when we can remain faithful and obedient to these promises, it leaves a clear path for these promises to be delivered straight to us. That's why when people say sometimes before there's breakthrough, spiritual breakthrough, there's an increase in spiritual warfare. And it's true, because the devil knows exactly what's on the other side of this struggle, of this preparedness that God is bringing us through, and he doesn't want us there. So he sets up things to distract, delay, seduce, tempt, and Satan can bless us too, guys. All he needs to do is send something our way that's wrapped in a pretty package, and all of a sudden we're being disobedient to God and getting in the way of our own promises from the Lord. My experience too, not every vision, not every dream has actually come from God. I've received many dreams and many visions that have led to months and months and months of distraction or disobedience, or remaining in fear, cycling fearful thoughts. And it wasn't until I was deceived. I was convinced that these were messages from God because they were so clear and symbolic and all of these things. But this is also the devil's strategy, because he knows how, he understands how our weaknesses. And for example, one of mine is the symbolism, the digging, and that comes from my past in reading tarot cards and all of these things, right? My behaviors, my patterns, my ways of thinking was set up to be able to dig and see different perspectives and things like this. And it's actually taken a long time for me to for the Lord to pull my mind, my behaviors and my beliefs, my pattern ways of thinking, like, out of that snail shell, because it was in deep. It was in so deep. But it absolutely ruined my life. And recently, in these past few months, I've been speaking to God, and He's brought me to such a place of ease, of rest, and of deep trust in Him. And just a knowing that He's got my back, that He loves me, that He wants good things for me. But it didn't come without a fight. It was a severe battle of the mind, because this is one of the devil's strategies, right? They don't call him the Prince of Air for no reason. All it takes is for a whisper in our ear that aligns with one of the deep core beliefs that we have about ourselves for us to come into agreement with that, accept that as a truth. That is why reading the Bible is paramount to cutting through the lies that the devil brings us. All right? I want to read, in terms of God's promises, how true He is to His promises. A page from the Bible here, Numbers 23:19. God is not a man, so He does not lie. He is not human, so He does not change His mind. Has He ever spoken and failed to act? Has He ever promised and not carried it through? So what is it? What is it that sets up, delay and distraction, or the stealing of God's promises? And that is our disobedience. We can blame the devil. We can say it's him. We can say, the bad things in life are from him, and they are. He plays it out, right? But it's up to us as to whether or not we come into agreement with it. Do we believe the original promise that was shown to us, that was confirmed? That was confirmed by praying about it after as well. Do we believe this? Can we remain faithful to it? And that diligent path of obedience in the direction of that promise, I can tell you now, is a massive gift, because the refining of our hearts, our minds, and our characters are going to be the biggest blessing. And certainly in my experience, as I said, so far, it's led to such peace, a deep sense of trust. And that's not even who I was, guys. I was such a mistrusting, fearful, hurt, scorned woman. And even in recent times, with going through some pretty painful situations, I've still felt that God is walking beside me, and that although certain things had to happen, it's still all going to be okay. And this trust now, I feel it's not like just a breadcrumbing type situation or a feel-good day. It's actually something that's been set up. It feels like it's been sustained within my spirit, and it's been the biggest blessing. And I've been thanking God absolutely every day just for this sense of peace, because although the promise that He revealed is not necessarily here as it was in the dream, but I feel the closeness more than ever now to that promise. But I'm also not idolizing that promise, because I'm just so happy that God is here. that he loves me, that he wants good things for me, and he wants good things for all of us, guys. He loves all of us to our absolute deepest core, just as we are, right where we are right now on our journeys. So I just wanted to share this with you guys as a message of encouragement. Don't allow the devil to sow seeds of doubt in your mind. All right, if somebody says something, if you receive a dream or a vision and all it does is wrap its tail around you like a snake coiling around, and it feels like you're being strangled with nothing but fear, understand that dream or that vision or whatever that person said, it didn't come from God. He will reveal his promises to us if we ask him, and they will come to fruition where we are obedient. All right, take care, guys. Stay encouraged, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.